I'm going to show you how data modeling works in Zing Data. A data model allows you to specify columns, tables or views, and metrics, and how they relate to each other. It also allows you to set up constraints. For instance, you might want the name of a customer not to be visible at an individual customer level, but you might want to allow roll-ups like total revenue by customer city or total revenue by state. You can enforce those constraints within Zing Data by setting up a data model. You also can ensure that there's governance and consistency in the results that your users see. Let's look at how we would set this up. So here we have a sample data set called store example. And if I go hit edit here, I can see that there's three tables within it. There's orders, people, and returns. So if I want to create a semantic model for this store example, I'm going to go over here to settings and over here to semantic model. Now, how should I set up my semantic model? Well, if I go over here, this is kind of how it would be set up. So I'm going to have orders and I've got, various columns that I may want in that. And I don't actually have a customers table here. So I'll just hop over to Zing to see what fields are there. And we'll create a semantic model for that on the fly. So we'll go over here to store example. And I can see I've got orders. And I'm going to say that I want users to be able to get the sum of sales, but I don't want them to be able to get that by customer name. So I'm going to define that sales is one of the columns I want to make sure that I have. So I'll say sales, I'll just say sales amount. And I'll go over here and say I want discount times sales to be a kind of discount amount. And I'll call that the sum of discount times the sum of sales. And in this allowed category, and I'll make this really simple, so I'll actually delete this other metric that I've got here. I'm actually going to specify that I want discount amount to be viewed by city and state. So I'll add city and state here. So I have these three different types of group by actions. I have allowed, required, and forbidden. So what I'm going to say is that I only want discount amount and total sales to be visible by city and by state. I don't want them to be visible at this order ID level. And actually I'm going to say that I only want total sales, for instance, just so you can kind of see how this works, to be visible by state. So I'll make that in this allowed field. Required allows you to specify fields or column names that must be, all of them must be in the roll-up of that calculation. And forbidden allows you to specify column names that should not be used as dimensional splits. So for instance, if I wanted total sales not to be able to be split by customer ID, and let's say I had customer ID here as a valid column category, so I'll add that here just so you can kind of see. I can add a forbidden, so I'll say that I don't want customer ID to be a level of detail that someone can cut this metric by. So now I'll save this. Now that we've set up a semantic model, we can go ask questions that will adhere to it. So I can say, show me the discount amount by city. And we gave it the calculation for discount amount, so it knows what that is, and it knows that that's allowable to be cut by city. We also know that it's allowable to be cut by state, So say by state, and it will update the calculation from city to state. I can go see the calculation that it did here, and that's exactly the calculation I had given it. Now, similarly, if I go ask a question like, give me the customer IDs for purchases over $100, it won't return a result here because customer IDs and purchase amount are not defined as valid calculations in that combination. In fact, we said that the sales can't be cut by customer ID explicitly in our semantic model. And you can see that actually over here. We said it's forbidden to cut total sales by customer ID. So this gives you a governable, controlled way that you can ensure users are seeing the right metrics. Now, this applies for all viewers and all members, and by default for editors and admins. However, if you're an editor or admin, you also have the option to go to expert mode, and there you can sidestep the semantic model if you want to ask, let's say, a more complex question or one where you're aware that the calculations may require a double check before you rely on them. So here I could say, show me the customer IDs with purchases greater than $100, and it will return me a result because we said we want to be in expert mode and not use the semantic model as something that we're bound to. So you can choose, for most use cases, you're going to want less familiar users to be bound to the semantic model. You'll give them a member role on this data set. But if you're trying to go create new metrics and explore the data or answer a question that nobody has asked before, you can go into this expert mode and easily toggle that on or off here. You can see all the documentation for how to set this up at getzingdata.com and then click on documentation, and you can always reach out to our team from there if you have any questions.